I once thought my life was perfect. Ethan and I had been in love for 4 years before getting married, overcoming the struggles of our youth together. We started with nothing but love and the belief that we would build a bright future side by side. When I became pregnant with our twin sons Liam and Noah, I believed it was the most beautiful new chapter of my life. Ethan seemed overjoyed, promising to be a great husband and father. I trusted him completely, believing that he would protect our little family. But I was too naive. Everything started to change when my mother-in-law, Victoria, became too involved in our lives. She had never liked me. From the very first day we met, she made her disapproval clear. A girl with nothing special, no family background, no wealth. My son can do much better than this. I tried my best to get along with her. I thought that if I treated her with sincerity, she would eventually change her opinion of me. But I was wrong. Victoria never accepted me as her daughter-in-law. She always saw me as a burden, an obstacle holding Ethan back from greater success. After I gave birth to our twins, she started interfering in our marriage more than ever. She constantly filled Ethan's head with the idea that I was a weak wife, that I contributed nothing to his career. She would whisper to him, "My son, you deserve a more sophisticated woman, someone who can help you move up in life. Not someone who spends her days changing diapers and taking care of children." She never said it outright, but she made sure Ethan felt that his life would be better without me. Ethan had once been a loving husband, always helping me care for our babies. But over time, he grew distant. He stopped coming home early. Family dinners turned into lonely meals for me and our children. He started finding excuses to stay away from home. I have to meet clients with my boss. I have a late meeting. I need to go on a business trip. I did not want to doubt my husband. I tried to convince myself that he was just stressed from work. But then, I noticed an undeniable truth. He no longer looked at me the way he used to. The way he avoided my gaze. The way he quietly left bed earlier every morning. The way he no longer said "I love you" before leaving for work. I could feel that something was happening. And then, the fateful night arrived. It was a cold, rainy evening. I had just put our 2 children to sleep when Ethan came home late. I stepped into the living room with a gentle smile. "Have you eaten? I kept your food warm." Ethan did not look at me. He tossed his keys onto the table and let out a tired sigh. Then, he looked me straight in the eyes and said the words that shattered my entire world. "Let's get a divorce." I froze. "Are you joking?" I let out a weak laugh, hoping he was just saying it out of stress. But there was no hesitation in his eyes. "I cannot live like this anymore. I need freedom." I shook my head, unable to believe what I was hearing. "What are you saying?" "What about our children? What about our family?" Ethan responded coldly. "You will be fine. You are stronger than you think. But I cannot do this anymore." Tears welled up in my eyes. "You cannot do this to me and our children, Ethan. I gave up everything to be with you." He did not care. "I will make sure you and the kids are financially supported." He spoke as if money could make up for what he was about to do. But the most painful part was not that he was leaving. It was how he left. Like I no longer mattered to him at all. Just when I thought the pain could not get any worse, Victoria appeared. She looked at me and smiled. Calm, triumphant. "My son will have a better future without you." I collapsed onto the floor, covering my face as I cried. I had given my all. I had loved Ethan with everything I had. I had sacrificed everything to build a happy family. But in the end, it was still not enough. She had won. She had turned her son into a puppet, making him abandon his wife and children without a second thought. That night, I held my 2 children close, my tears soaking the pillow. Liam and Noah were only 2 years old, far too young to understand what was happening. I looked at my sleeping babies and made a silent promise to myself. I will not give up. I will not let you suffer. I will show you how strong your mother is. No matter how much pain I was in, I knew I could not fall apart. I had to stand up. I had to fight. For my 2 children, and for myself. Ethan had abandoned me. The man who once swore to protect me for life had turned his back on me, leaving me alone with our 2-year-old twins. My mother-in-law, Victoria, had won. She had poisoned Ethan's mind, making him believe I was a burden, that I was not worthy of him. I cried for nights. I panicked thinking about my future and my children's future. How could I move on when the man I loved most had discarded me like an unwanted object? How could I take care of my children when I had nothing left I wanted to break? But in the darkest moment of my despair, I remembered the innocent eyes of Liam and Noah. They did not deserve to grow up with a weak and broken mother. I could not let them see me fall apart. The day Ethan left, I had exactly $300 in my bank account. No one to help me. No one on my side. My parents had passed away early. I had no siblings. I was completely alone. But I knew I had to rise. I started looking for a job. I had studied fashion design, but never had the chance to pursue it. I applied to work at a garment factory, but without practical experience, they rejected me. I tried selling clothes online, but no one bought them. I applied for a job as a waitress, but the demanding schedule made it impossible for me to work and care for my children. After countless failures, I was on the verge of giving up. Then, one night, while scrolling through social media, I saw an advertisement for a fashion design competition. The winner would receive $50,000 and a chance to work with a major brand. I looked at my sleeping children. This was my only chance. I threw myself into relearning everything about fashion design. During the day, I worked at a small sewing shop to earn enough money for fabric. At night, after my children fell asleep, I stayed up, designing. I did not own a sewing machine, so I stitched everything by hand. I could not afford expensive materials, so I bought the cheapest fabrics and worked to make them look luxurious. There were nights I was so exhausted that I fell asleep at my work table, a needle still stuck in the fabric. But I never stopped. I could not stop. After 3 months, I finally completed my collection and submitted it. And then, I made it to the finals. The life-changing competition. On the day of the competition, I stood on stage, shaking with nerves. The other contestants were professional designers, formally trained. I was a single mother, with nothing but determination and willpower. I thought I had no chance. But then, my collection was revealed. The audience rose to their feet, applauding. The judges marveled at my designs. One of them, a well-respected female designer, turned to me and asked, "What inspired you to create these outfits?" I took a deep breath and spoke firmly. This collection is for strong women. Single mothers, women who have been betrayed. Women who once thought they were not enough. But they are enough. They are strong, and I want them to know they deserve to shine. The audience erupted into applause. One of the judges teared up, and then something I never imagined happened. After the competition. Right after the competition, I became the center of media attention. I was invited onto TV shows featured in discussions about women entrepreneurs. Newspapers wrote about my story, the single mother abandoned by her husband who fought her way to success. And then one day, Ethan saw me on TV. He froze. The woman he had discarded, the woman he thought could not survive without him, was now shining brighter than ever. He called me. I stared at his name on the screen and I did not pick up. A message from Ethan. A few minutes later, he texted, "I am sorry I was wrong. I miss you and the kids. Please give me another chance." I let out a bitter smile. I had once begged him not to leave me. I had once thought I could not survive without him. But now I had survived. I had grown stronger. I had found myself again. And Ethan. He only regretted leaving me after seeing me succeed without him. I typed a short reply. "It is too late, Ethan." Then I blocked his number. Unexpected visitor. I thought that was the end of it, but I was wrong. Because a week later, my ex-mother-in-law, Victoria, came looking for me. That day, I had just finished a television interview when my assistant walked into my office looking confused. "A woman is here to see you. She says she is your former mother-in-law." I froze, Victoria. What was she doing here? I thought for a moment, then nodded. Let her in. The door opened and there she was. the woman who had destroyed my marriage. But this time, she no longer carried the same arrogance. There was no longer the air of a powerful woman. No more disdainful looks. She looked frail, thinner than before. Her hair was streaked with gray, her eyes tired and worried. I sat up straight, arms crossed. "Hello, Victoria. Long time no see." She forced a small, hesitant smile. I just want to talk." I smirked. "The last time we talked, you called me useless, a burden, a disgrace to your family. And now what do you want?" She bit her lip, looking uneasy. "You need money. Do not you?" I asked coldly. She flinched. I chuckled. I was right. Victoria had once lived a luxurious life, but after I left, her family crumbled. Ethan was no longer the director of his company. It had actually been built by his late father. After his father passed away, Victoria took control, but she lacked business skills. The company's finances suffered. Ethan wasted money recklessly spending the remaining fortune. And now with their family on the brink of bankruptcy, they came to me. How ironic, a desperate plea. Victoria lowered her voice, speaking with an unfamiliar humility. "Listen, my dear." I raised an eyebrow. "What did you just call me?" She hesitated but continued, "Ethan. He really regrets everything. He wants to make things right." I let out a sharp laugh. "You think I would go back to a man who abandoned his wife and children just because his mother told him to?" She blinked rapidly, clearly flustered. "We both know Ethan made mistakes, but you should give him a chance." I stood up, stepping closer to her, looking her directly in the eye. "A chance when I begged Ethan not to leave me? What did you say?" She lowered her head, silent. I clenched my teeth. "You told me I was worthless. You said I would never succeed without Ethan." Victoria swallowed hard. "You took everything from me. You threw me and my children onto the streets with nothing." She clenched her fists, tears welling up in her eyes. "You treated me like garbage. And now when you have lost everything, you want my help?" Victoria broke down crying. I was wrong. I looked at her, but there was no sympathy left in me. "It is too late, Victoria." I refused to help her. I did not seek revenge, but I also did not show mercy. She and Ethan brought this upon themselves. Not long after, Victoria's family officially went bankrupt. She lost her mansion, her power, and had to move into a small apartment in the suburbs. Ethan tried to cling to old connections, but no one helped him anymore. With no money, no reputation. The man who once abandoned me was now nothing more than a failure. I never heard from them again. Because to me, they were my past. Moving forward, I continued to grow my career, building my own fashion brand. I opened 2 more stores, appeared on several television shows, and even became a business mentor for women who had faced struggles like mine. My children, Liam and Noah, grew up surrounded by love and strength. They did not need a father who abandoned them. They needed a mother who never left their side. The day I received the Entrepreneur of the Year award, I looked down and saw my 2 children clapping proudly. I had won, not through hatred, but through my own success. And that was the sweetest revenge. Lessons learned. Success is the best revenge. Do not waste time on resentment, live a better life. Family is not always right. If someone wants to bring you down, cut them off. When someone returns after you have succeeded, they are not truly sorry. They just regret losing what they could have gained from you. Never underestimate yourself. Those who belittle you today will have to bow before you tomorrow. What do you think about this story? If you were in my place, would you forgive Ethan? Do you believe that betrayers always face consequences? Have you ever proved someone wrong after they doubted you? Share your thoughts in the comments.